Okay, so far I told you about what is a pointer and what is pointer to pointer. So with that particular example I shown you, you should be able to comprehend what is a pointer and what is a pointer to pointer. So you can have any level of pointers in this manner. Okay, so those are two questions, direct questions you can be getting in your exams. Next, the third part we are going to see is something called as pointer arithmetic. So first you need to know how your pointer values will be present. That is what how your memory location numbers will be present. So I told you in few past classes regarding this how memory locations will be present. Your complete memory will be divided into memory cells, and each and every memory cell will be having its own memory location. Okay, the memory location, each and every memory location will be having its own personal memory address. Okay, these addresses will start from 0, and based upon your maximum size of memory in your computer, it can be 1 GB, 10 GB. You'll be having from starting from 0 number to any big numbers. Remember, all these numbers will be 0 to some n value. So they will be integer numbers. Okay, so all the memory location numbers will be integer numbers. So in a 16-bit computer, size of all types of pointers, that is either it is an integer pointer, float pointer, char pointer, or a double pointer, it will always be 2 bytes in a 32-bit. Why? Because if you are even if it is an integer pointer, we'll be storing the address of one variable. Even if it is a floating point pointer, we'll be storing a address of one variable. So the address value will be always an integer. Or understanding, it will be starting from 0 to any number value. So always the address will be a integer address. So that is why it will always be 2 bytes. But when we perform any arithmetic function like increment on a pointer, changes occur as per the size of your primitive data type. I will explain this thing in the further slides. Okay, arithmetic is about incrementing your pointers and decrementing your pointers. That is, you will be able to perform PTR plus plus, PTR minus minus. That is incrementing and decrementing your pointers. But always remember, your address will be 2 bytes. Why 2 bytes means? Let me show you. So if you see the variable a is having one address 2686724. This is an integer number. If you see the pointer p1, it is having one address 2686728. This is also integer. So p2 is having its address. Always this address will be integers. In a 32-bit machine, always, sorry, in a 16-bit machine, always the integer size will be 2 bytes. So all the pointer sizes will be 2 bytes only. Okay, that is the main thing you have to understand here. All the pointer sizes will be 2 bytes only. Next, so but the size of data types in your 16-bit machines, that is general data types. So char will be 1 byte, integer will be 2 bytes, long will be 4 bytes, float will be 4, double will be 8 bytes, long double will be 10 bytes. This is what I told you in your size of data types. Okay, but when you come to pointer arithmetic, so just we'll see the examples of pointer arithmetic. So you can write int star ptr or int star space ptr, anything is correct. When you are declaring a pointer variable, you can write int space star ptr, or you can write int star space particular pointer name ir ptr. So if I write I plus plus, okay, you are going to perform something called as pointer arithmetic. So to understand this pointer arithmetic, so for example, let's see that example once again. If I'm writing ptr is equals to address of a, I will be getting 2686724. If I increment ptr plus plus, and if p sorry if I increment p1 plus plus and p1 points to a integer variable, so the current address is 2686724. It will increment by 2 bytes. That is, it will be incrementing by, it will point to the next memory location 2686726. Okay, that is the pointer arithmetic you have to understand. We will be coming back to that with an example. So pointer will be of 2 bytes, and when we increment it, we are incrementing it by 2 bytes because int is of 2 bytes. So now take the second example where you are having a floating point pointer I plus plus. In this case, the size of the pointer, that is whatever that contains in I, is still 2 bytes. Why? Because the address will be always a 2 bytes. But now when we increment it, it will be incremented by 4 bytes. That is the next float value it will be pointing to. When you increment an integer, it will be pointing to the next integer. When we increment a floating point pointer, it will be pointing to next floating point value. When we increment a double, it will be incremented by 8 bytes, and it will be pointing to the next double value in your particular memory. So pointer arithmetic is nothing but pointing to the next integer address, or pointing to the next floating point address, or pointing to the next double address. This pointer arithmetic is mainly used in your arrays. So I think you should have remembered in your arrays. Arrays will be a consecutive memory locations, that is first integer, second integer, third integer, fourth integer, in that manner. Okay, if I increment ptr plus plus, it will be pointing to the next integer. If I increment again, it will be pointing to the third integer, in that manner. So this is the main purpose of your pointer arithmetic. So if it is an integer pointer, if you increment, it will be pointing to the next next integer. If I have a floating point pointer, if I increment, it will be pointing to the next floating point value. And if I'm having a double pointer, if I increment it, it will be pointing to the next double value in the memory. That is the main thing about pointer arithmetic. We will revisit these things in arrays and pointers. So we'll continue. But so that is about 16-bit machine where your integer will be 2 bytes. In a 32-bit machine, your integer will be 4 bytes. So the pointer will also be a 4 bytes pointer. Okay. So just that small difference only. That's it. Nothing is changing here. So int means 4 bytes. Char will be 2 bytes. Long will be 8 bytes. Float will be 8 bytes, and double will be 16 bytes. So remaining things are same. If I'm having an integer pointer, it will be incrementing by 4. If I'm having a long pointer, it will be incrementing by 8. If I'm having float pointer, it will be incrementing by 32 bytes. So currently most of the machines will be 32-bit machines. So these numbers will be valid now. Okay, if you are using a 16-bit machine, older things, your integer will be 2 bytes, it will be incrementing by 2. Since most of the current machines are 32-bit machines, will be incrementing by 4, and the address will be 4 bits on 4 bytes size. Okay, next note, we cannot add 2 pointers. Why? Because pointers contain addresses, and adding 2 addresses makes no sense. Why? Because if you see, this is a pointer p1, p2 is another pointer. So p1 is having one address 2686728, p2 is having another address p2686732. If I add these two values, I will be getting some 56,000 something. So that memory location is not a valid thing in your program. Okay, adding 2 pointers is not a sensible thing to do. That is, if I write a p1 plus p2 is not a sensible thing in addition. So pointer arithmetic is mainly about incrementing the pointers and decrementing the pointers, not adding 2 pointers. Okay, we can subtract 2 pointers. This is because the difference gives number of elements of its data type that can be stored between the two. Okay, So this difference will tell you how many number of elements are present between those 2 pointers. Addition doesn't have any sense, but subtraction, if you do the subtraction, that is, if I take 2 pointers and subtract them, it will tell the number of integer elements present between those 2 pointers. That is the thing. So pointer arithmetic is, you can think it as only two things, that is increment and decrement, and you can use the subtraction also. So those three operations can be performed on pointers. No other operation can be performed, and you can assign the pointer, that is p1 is equal to p2. Okay, you can do that particular assignment also. Those three operations you can perform. Okay, if I assign, what will happen? So let's see an example regarding this pointer arithmetic. So first, I'm declaring a general variable m which is equals to 5, and n which is equals to 10, and o which is equals to 0. And then I'm declaring three pointers, p1, p2 and p3. All are direct pointers. So then I'm pointing p1 is equal to address of m. I'm pointing p1 to m. Next, p2 is equal to address of n. I'm pointing p2 to n. Okay, so in this particular line, p1 will print the address of m, p2 will print the address of n. Next, what I am doing is, I'm writing something, o is equal to star p1 plus star p2. Star p1 is nothing but value at the address of p1, that is 5. Star p2 is value at the address of p2, that is 10. So 0 o is equals to, I am doing o is equals to 5 plus 10. So o will contain the 15 value at this particular instance. Then I am printing that 15 value. The next thing is I am doing is p3 is equal to p1 minus p2. So p1 minus p2 means p1 will be having one address, p2 will be having another address. It will tell the difference between these two addresses. If you see at the right side, we are having the output, that is the address of p1 is 2680016, address of p2 is 2680012. So this is a 32-bit machine, so between this there are 4 bytes. Okay, so we'll be having one integer. So that is why p1 minus p2 means it will be giving you 4 number. So it will be pointing to one pointer. So if I print that particular thing, I'm getting the value 1. So it will tell the number of integral or integral values present between these two addresses. Okay, next I'm doing something called as p1 plus plus. p1 plus plus means, so what is the current address of p1? 2680016. If I add plus plus, I am pointing to the next integral, ante means 2680016 plus 4, that is 2680020. So if I am incrementing that particular thing, it will point to the next integer present in your memory. So it will be present at 2680020. So since integer is 4 bytes, I am adding 4. So the last one I am doing is p2 minus minus. So the current address of p2 is 2680012. So minus minus means I have to go for the previous memory integral element. So this 12 minus 4, 2680012 minus 4. So it will go to 2680008. Okay, so this is the particular increment and decrement. So these are all our pointer arithmetic. And the last one, printf p1 plus p2, this will give an error. It will not print an output, it will give an error. So these 3 or 4 things you can perform on pointer arithmetics. You can add 2 pointer values by using indirection. Remember, these are values. That is, I'm adding 5 and 10 indirectly. You can perform the subtraction p1 minus p2 directly to get the number of integral elements or any number of elements present between 2 pointers. You can perform increment to point to the next memory location. You can perform decrement to point to the previous memory location. If it is an integer, it will point to an integral memory location. If it is a float, it will go back to the floating memory location. So these are the things you need to know regarding pointer arithmetic. So all those explanation about the previous example is below. Okay. And the next topic you need to know is how we are going to use pointers and arrays combinedly, and how pointers and arrays are linked. Okay. So pointers are and arrays are very close to each other indirectly. So you need to know this. So when you declare an array, compiler allocates sufficient memory to contain all elements for that particular array. Okay, if I declare an array int array of 5 is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the compiler will assign memory for all the 5 elements. So if it is a 32 bit, so how many bytes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. 5 into 4, 20 bytes of memory will be assigned by your computer. When you are assigning 20 bytes of memory, whatever the address we give to the first memory element, we'll be calling it as the base address. That is the address of the first element in your array. And suppose you are writing this thing, the one will be having the base address. That is, if I give base address as 1000 for this particular one, so 1004 will be for 2, 1008 will be for 3, next 1012 will be for 4, 1016 will be for 5. Okay, that will be your addresses for each and every element in your particular array. Each and every element will be having its own consecutive addresses. Assuming that base address is 1000, sorry, we are getting here. You're dealing with only a 16-bit computer, not a 32-bit computer in this example. When you are dealing with a 16-bit computer, the first element will be having 1000 address, second element 1000 true, third element 1004, the fourth element 1006, and fifth element 1008. Here the first element address will be calling it as the base address, and by default the name of the array ARR, whatever may be your name of the array, by default whenever you declare an array, ARR or any name will contain the base address. What I need to say is ARR is pointer to the first element in your array. Okay, are you getting me? So array name will act as the pointer to the first element in your particular array. Okay, so whenever you declare an array int ARR of 5, I'm indirectly telling that ARR, the name, will point to the first memory location in your particular array. Okay, so therefore ARR contains the address of ARR of 0, that is 1000. ARR is like an address. In short, ARR has two purposes. It is the name of the array, and it acts as pointer by pointing towards the first element in the array. This is the close relationship between your arrays and pointers. The array name will act as pointer to the first element in your array. Okay, so when you declare a pointer of type int to point to an array, so that is a different thing, but basic thing is you have to remember that name of the array will point to the first element in your array. The second thing is, excuse me, we can declare a pointer of type int to point to an array. That is, you can have a pointer to an array. This is a different thing. We can have a separate pointer to an array. So if you see, I'm declaring int star p. P is equals to ARR. That is, P, we are assigning the address of your first element to A, or indirectly the similar statement P is equal to address of ARR of 0. Now this P will point to the first element in your array. Okay, this P will point to the first element in your array. Remember this we are going to use further in your future in C++ data structures very heavily. You need to understand about arrays and pointers in specifics. Okay, it will be tough for you in future if you don't have clear meaning of what is these assignments all. Okay, in star p means it will be a general pointer. If I'm assigning p is equal to ARR, I'm telling that I'm assigning the address of first element to p. Now p also will be pointing to the first element. Okay, now we can access every element of the array by using p++. That is, as I told you in pointer arithmetic, p is pointing to the first element, that is 1000. P is pointing to the first element, that is 1000. If I write p++, it will go to the next element. If I write p++, it will go to the next element. In this manner, you can go to all the elements, that is up till 1008. Okay. You cannot decrement a pointer once incremented. P minus minus won't work. That is, you can only go in one direction. You cannot go in the reverse direction. For if you start the decrement, you have to do only the decrement. If you start the increment, you have to do only the increment part. Okay, that is about your pointer arithmetic. One small example. So in int x of 5 2 4 6 8 10, you are declaring a array, and then you are assigning value I is equals to 0. Next, you are trying to print the addresses of all these elements. Okay, what I am doing is, while I is less than 5, printf %d. What I am doing, I am printing I. Y value is 0. 0th value x plus I means, what is x? X will be the address of the first element. Let's call it as 1000. So 1000 plus 0th address I am trying to print here. Okay, whatever the value 2 that I am printing, and I'm printing the address here. So basically this program will print, so 0th memory location, that is 0th memory location will contain 2 with a particular address 1000. 1th memory location will contain 4 with some particular memory address, that is 1002. Okay, second memory location with a value 6 with 1004, like that. So this printf statement will print the position 0 position and the value and its address. Those are the things you have. I means the particular 0th position. Star x plus I means the value in direction operation. The x plus I means the particular address 1000 plus 0. It will print the 1000. Okay, if you try to execute all these things, we'll get in clear manner. But this example will just use this pointer and arrays. Okay, so just we are printing like this. X of 0, the element is 2 with an address 4056. X of 1 with an element 4 with an address of 4058. Okay, in the same manner, we are just printing the element number and that particular value along with its address. Okay, that will be about pointers and arrays. The next one is pointer to array. Pointers and arrays are different. Pointers and arrays means array name will be acting as a pointer. Just remember that one. Pointer to array means you can have a separate pointer which will point to an array, not your array name. You can have a separate pointer which will point to your array name. So if you see in the example, int a of 5 is equal to 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm declaring a pointer star p which is equals to a. Okay, now p also will point to a. If you use the p plus plus, you'll go to all the elements. As I told you in the previous slides itself, your p can be pointed to a using p. If you add p plus plus, you can go to all the elements. In the above program, the pointer star p will print all the values stored in the array one by one. We can use the base address, that is a. that is the name of the array, to act as pointer and print all the values. So your array name can be used as a pointer, or you can use a separate pointer which will point to all the elements in an array. Okay, so if you print %d a of I, it will be printing the particular value a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, like this. Next, if you have these statements one by one, all will be printing the values only. Star a means it will print the a of 0 value. Star a plus I means it will print that particular a plus I. A plus I means base address plus 0, base address plus 1, base address plus 2. Okay, as I shown you in this previous example, same thing. You can print all the elements in this manner and their addresses. Okay, you can use any of these statements to print your particular values. Okay, so the generalized form of using a pointer with an array is star a plus I is same as a of I. Okay, we are using a of 0 means the first 0th element. In the same manner, you can use star a plus 0. Okay, a of 1 means it can be used in pointers as star a plus 1. Okay, this is how you can be using your pointers with in your arrays. An array of pointers, this is another topic regarding pointers. So an array of pointers means so far you have been using only one pointer. So if you want to have more than one pointer in your program, you can use array of pointers. So if you take this particular example, let me see. So what you are doing is I'm first declaring a constant max which is equals to 3. Next I'm declaring an array variable var which contains three values 10, 100 and 200. Now I'm trying to print those values for I is equal to 0, I less than max means 3, I plus plus, printf %d I comma variable of I. So this particular example just declares an array of 3 elements. Remember, it will declare an array of 3 elements. This is not related to pointers. We see. So to declare an array of pointers, so general array means we'll be using in this manner. Va of 3 is equals to some set of 3 values. If you want to declare an array of pointers, we are going to declare in this manner int star ptr of max. If I specify star ptr of 3, I am indirectly making 3 pointers in this particular program. So those 3 pointers will be int star ptr of 1, int star ptr of 2, int star ptr of 0, int star ptr of 1, int star ptr of 2. So we can create any number of pointers by using arrays. Okay, so it declares ptr as an array of max integer pointers. So if I declare int star ptr of 3, I'm declaring 3 pointers in my program. So the following example uses 3 integers which are stored in an array of pointers. So first, int var is equals to 10, 100, 200. These are 3 general variables. So var of 0 will contain 10, var of 1 will contain 100, var of 2 will contain 200. 3 general variables. Next I am declaring 3 pointers. Star ptr of 3, max is 3. So I am assigning ptr of 0 with var of 0. That is ptr of 0 will point to the first element in array var. Ptr of 1 will point to the second element in var. So I am writing ptr of I is equal to address of var of I. Okay, ptr of 0 will point to first element, ptr of 1 will point to second element, ptr of 2 will point to the third element. So we are using 3 pointers in my program, and 3 pointers are pointing to 3 different variables, and all these values I am printing by using this particular 3 pointers. Okay, this line will be used to print all those 3 values. So PTR of 0 means it will print 10, PTR of 1 means it will print 100, PTR of 2 means it will print 200. And this last thing, pointers to functions, this pointers to functions, you might not be able to understand clearly. Why? Because you don't have an idea about functions. No, we'll be getting functions in the last unit. I will revisit this thing in the last unit. Okay, so regarding pointers to functions, so far you have seen what is a pointer, what is a pointer to pointer, and then how to use pointer arithmetic, that is PTR plus plus, PTR minus minus. Then we have seen pointers and arrays, that is how array name will act as a pointer to its first element. Next, we have used pointers to arrays, how you can have a separate pointer to your array, that is a separate pointer which can be pointing to your array elements. And last, we have seen how to create an array of pointers by using this particular int star PTR of some large value. Even if you want to create 100 pointers, you can create by using int star PTR of some 100. Okay, these are all about basics of pointers. So I will tell about pointers to functions in the last chapter itself. Okay, so you take break for 5 minutes, and we will reconnect again.